realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game.
It's becoming increasingly apparent that the Chicago Sky's home games aren't all treated equally when it comes to venue decisions. As of now, the only games being shifted from their usual spot at Wintrust Arena to the much larger United Center are those pitting the Sky against the Indiana Fever. This has sparked frustration from Angel Reese, the Sky's rookie standout, who's openly questioned why her team seems to be overlooking her in favor of these high-profile matchups. Speaking to reporters, Reese couldn't hide her confusion and irritation, asking why it's only the games featuring Caitlin Clark, the Fever's sensational rookie, that get this special treatment. She's fuming, feeling like the Sky have thrown her under the bus, and it's not hard to see why she might feel slighted. But the answer, while tough for Reese to swallow, is pretty straightforward. People are turning out in massive numbers for Clark, not her. It's a reality that stings more than a rejected shot at the rim. The United Center, with its 21,000-seat capacity, is a significant upgrade from Wintrust's 10,000 or so seats. This season, for the first time, it'll host a pair of WNBA games, both conveniently scheduled against the Fever on June 7th and July 27th, 2025. The Sky's decision to move these matchups isn't random. It's a calculated response to the unprecedented demand Clark brings. When a rookie steps into the league and immediately shatters attendance records, forcing teams to rethink their venue strategies just to accommodate the crowds, that's not hype, it's business. Last season, Clark didn't just fill Gainbridge. Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, she blew the roof off it, drawing nearly 341,000 fans across the Fever's home games, setting an all-time franchise record. By comparison, the Chicago Sky, even with Reese's contributions, didn't come close to those numbers. Yet Reese seems convinced she's generating the same level of excitement. It's a belief that's tough to reconcile with the data. Sky's move to the United Center for these two games has been a long time coming. Fans and observers had been clamoring for it, especially after last season when Clark's visits to Chicago packed Wintrust to the brim and left many unable to get tickets. Now, the Sky are finally giving in, scheduling both 2025 home games against the Fever at the bigger arena. It's a clear signal of who the real draw is. One fan summed it up online. Fever taking over the United Center? I can't wait. The excitement is palpable, and it's all tied to Clark's arrival. Meanwhile, Reese's games, they stayed. Put at Wintrust all through 2024, even during her impressive rookie campaign filled with rebounding dominance and social media buzz. Not once did the Sky feel compelled to upgrade venues for her. But when Clark's on the schedule, suddenly it's a scramble to double the capacity. Sky President Adam Fox tried to spin the decision as a reward for the fans' passion, a nice sentiment that doesn't quite hold up under scrutiny. If this were truly about celebrating Sky supporters, wouldn't they move more than just 2 games? The truth is less poetic. It's about maximizing revenue when Clark comes to town. Last year, Chicago rolled out the red carpet for her. Barbie night, pink towels, fans lining up for autographs. It was a spectacle, and the arena buzzed with energy. Now, they're taking that show to the United Center, betting it'll be even bigger. It's not favoritism, it's capitalism. Clark puts butts in seats in a way Reese hasn't yet managed. While Reese might argue her stat lines deserve the same hype, the ticket sales tell a different story. This isn't just a Chicago thing, it's a league-wide trend. Teams like the Washington Mystics, Las Vegas Aces, Atlanta Dream, Dallas Wings, and Connecticut Sun have all followed suit, shifting their Fever matchups to larger arenas. It's not about rivalries or random scheduling quirks, it's about one player, Caitlin Clark. Her games on the road have become so predictable in their draw that venue upgrades are now standard practice. Social media has been abuzz with reactions, some fans pointing out the obvious. Why is it only Clark's games getting the VIP treatment, while others throw shade at Reese's insistence that she's just as big a star? They watch for me too, Reese has said, but the lack of venue changes for her games suggests otherwise. One commenter put it bluntly, "Caitlin's giving every team a fundraising game. My GOAT is different." Reese has spent much of her rookie season trying to frame herself as Clark's equal, both in impact and popularity. She's pushed the narrative that the WNBA's surge in attention is a shared spotlight, often saying fans tune in for her as much as anyone else, but the numbers don't back her up. When the Sky announced their United Center plans, it wasn't billed as a celebration of Reese's homecoming. It was about capitalizing on Clark's visit. If Reese truly had the same pull, wouldn't her team have moved at least one of her standout games to a bigger stage? Instead, the Sky and the rest of the league are following the money, and that money trails Clark wherever she goes. Let's break it down with some hard figures. Last season, the Fever smashed the WNBA's single-season attendance record, pulling in 36% more fans than the previous high mark from 2001, a record set before Reese was even in high school. Indiana hit the 20,000 fan mark 3 times in 2024, turning regular season games into playoff-like events. By contrast, the Sky's biggest crowd ever, over 16,000, came back in 2016, long before Reese arrived. Last year, even with her leading the team in rebounds and generating TikTok buzz, Chicago's attendance hovered around 9,000 per game. Clark and the Fever, nearly 17,000 on average, almost double. On the road, the Fever outdrew every other team by 36%. Wherever Clark played, fans showed up in droves. The financial impact is staggering. The WNBA itself credits Clark with generating over a quarter of the league's revenue in 2024. She's not just a star, she's an economic force. The 2 United Center games alone are projected to bring in an extra $4 million compared to Wintrust. Not a small boost for a league that's historically struggled to turn a profit. Meanwhile, Reese's games, while respectable, haven't moved the needle enough to warrant similar moves. Her off-court ventures, like her stint in the unrivaled 3x3 league, haven't sparked the same viewership spikes. She's a talent, no question, but she's not the box office juggernaut Clark has proven to be. Fan reactions have been predictably split. Clark's supporters point to the undeniable economics. Ticket prices for Fever Sky matchups last season soared into the thousands on the resale market, a frenzy that didn't materialize for Reese's non-Clark games. Reese's defenders argue it's unfair, with one tweet noting, "They never moved Angels games when she was breaking records, but Clark shows up and it's 20,000 seats." It's a fair sentiment, but it misses the point. Records don't. Fill arenas. Demand does. Another fan fired back. Maybe if Angel worked on her jump shot instead of who's getting attention, she wouldn't need to worry about venue sizes. Harsh, but it reflects the divide. A Chicago local offered a more measured take. "I've been a Sky fan forever, but I couldn't get Fever tickets last year. Now I can. How's more access a bad thing? This venue shuffle isn't just about 2025. It's a sign of the WNBA's evolving landscape. Before Clark, the league saw steady growth, with viewership up 40% from 2022 to 2023. But with her arrival, it's exploded by 400%. That's not incremental, it's transformative. Clark didn't just predict this shift, she practically willed it into existence. A year ago, after a game in Chicago, she casually remarked that the United Center would be great for women's basketball. No bravado, just a practical observation. Now, her offhand comment has become a league-wide strategy, with teams racing to secure bigger venues before they're locked out. For Reese, the challenge isn't just about proving her worth, it's about accepting the reality the numbers reflect. She's a phenomenal player with a bright future, but she's not on Clark's level, not in impact, finances, or even on court dominance. Clark did, after all, snag Rookie of the Year. That's not a knock, it's a fact. Reese keeps insisting. She's a co-star in the WNBA's rise, but the league's actions, moving games for Clark and Clark alone, tell a different story. She could use this as fuel to elevate her game, focusing less on narratives and more on results. The fans have made their choice clear and the box office backs them up. In the end, it's not about who's loudest, it's about who delivers. And right now, that's Caitlin Clark.